Hello, 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 welcome back to another video. So today is time for another experiment. How many puzzling methods do you think there are for speed puzzling? Probably more than you think. So I've decided to try all the ones that I can think of to determine which one is the best one for me. And so let's go over the ones that I could figure out and see if you agree with me. So first one, I'm dividing them in two categories. There's the technique and the position categories. And so in the technique category, it's basically the way you do the puzzle, right? So you can either there's a few ones, and there's a little variations in them, but we can start with full sort, which is basically where you just sort all the pieces by distinct sections, it depends on the puzzle really, how many sections you can, or how many piles you can sort things into. But basically it's that. You sort things into sections. Sort into piles and then you build the sections. Next one is full flip. And in this one, some people might argue that you sort the edge out, you don't sort, but I feel like that's kind of a variation because it also depends on the puzzle, whether you sort out the edge or not. And mostly, personally, this is my preferred method, full flip with sorting out the edge. Then again, every puzzle I do, you don't necessarily do the edge first. So sorting out the edge is a bit like, it doesn't take, there's not that many pieces in the edge, and it's like, well, at least I have them separate from this whole other pile of pieces that I have to do, right? So it's a bit like, but yeah, I call that full flip method. And then we have build as you sort method. That is kind of like combination of two. Basically, you don't flip the pieces. You just take them one by one and compare them to the image. Or if you have sufficient pieces already and you recognize the patterns, you can go put them straight in the image. But most of the time, you just refer to the image and place them as you go. So as you sort them, basically, you take a piece, you sort them basically into the piles, but straight to the puzzle. You sort them into the puzzle, right? So that's the technique method. Those are the bigger ones that I could think of. I don't really think I've really seen any other ones. There might be the Kirsten method, which is build with one hand, but it's still, she does full flip anyways, or full sort. So that's just basically removing one arm from the equation. Anyways, and then we have the position, which for me, there's really two positions when it comes to competitions, right? It's the sitting and then the standing. But why not add a few more to the mix? For science. So I decided, because I have a standing desk, why not check out how it goes with the standing desk, right? So fully standing. Because the way it works in the competitions, you're leaning over the puzzle quite extensively when you're standing, when you're puzzling on your feet. But with a standing desk, you don't have to lean so far, because you can vary the height. Honestly, that should be the future in speed puzzling. And then, if you didn't think that we should stop there, no, I did it on the floor also. And we'll talk about it. We'll talk about it when we get to that time lapse. But we'll start with the technique one first, because we only have 3 techniques. And let's jump right into the time lapses. Right. So I synced them all up, right? And I've sped them up at to the same rate. And you can see some of them I have another webcam, some of them I don't, because basically some of them I streamed on my Twitch, and other ones I just did off stream, right? So also you can see some color variations, because some of them I did with daylight, some of them was too sunny, so I had to close the blinds are not perfect, some of them I did in the evening, it's just the change. And I have to say though, Fully sorting was very satisfying. As you can see, like, how satisfying does that look? That looks so satisfying, the colors. Also, I didn't talk about the puzzle, but this is a good opportunity to introduce the puzzle I'm doing. It's the London postcard one. Why did I choose this puzzle? Well, it's because I'm very familiar with it. It's my favorite, all-time favorite puzzle. I love it so much. And I thought, you know what? I've done it so many times that maybe for like what is it called, build as you sort method, maybe it's not the best because I am already familiar with the puzzle, but still I had to refer to some pieces on the picture. You can see me moving the box, so it's not like, to know exactly where it goes, I still have to look at the box to determine where the pieces exactly goes, right? So, but my preferred method is full flip, and that one is the one I pretty much do for every puzzle. That's the one I default to. I don't even think about fully sorting. And I've done puzzles where fully sorting might have been the best time, but the best option, right? The best tactic. But I just don't. Just default, and you can see that that's my fastest time. That's my fastest completion. Even though that was the first one I did, and then I did, I think, full sort. Then I did that was the next day. I did the build as you sort, and that one was slightly slower because I'm not that good at recognizing where the pictures go. Not that good. So yeah, I mean, overall they weren't that bad. And also, you might think, oh, that's pretty good times. Well, consider that I've done this puzzle like 10 times at this point. I don't know how many times I've done it. Many, many times. And I'm just so familiar with it. I kind of go from memory, and it still takes me so long. So I don't understand how people in the first time or second or third time, those really fast puzzlers, how are they doing it in under 30 minutes? How are they doing it? I just don't get it. Like, it's like, that's, for me, it's like almost physically impossible. But there's a little twist coming, by the way. There's a little twist. So we're gonna get into the position time lapses. And with the position time lapses, so I have here sitting, right? We're sitting, then we're standing, then we're building it on a standing desk. We're building it while I'm standing at a standing desk. I literally cranked it up as high as it goes. I'm very tall, so actually puzzling while standing at a normal size desk is like my back, it's killing my back. And then at a standing desk, actually it does still hurt your back, but way less. And you'll see why I was very surprised about the standing desk. This was obviously the one that I'm sitting. That was the very first one attempt I did, and the standing desk was on the third day. I did it over 3 days, all these methods. And of course, then we have the floor one, on the floor. And it comes with its own challenges. It actually wasn't that bad for puzzling, but it's so bad for your legs. When you're standing, your back hurts. Unless you do yoga, but it was hurting my legs so bad. Just sitting on the floor, I'm just not a yogi. I don't have the mobility, I guess. It was horrible. The time wasn't that bad, but again, I've done it so many times that. Plus, we had an appearance from the doggo. Doggo was there. I've done some, and yes, can you believe it? I completed the standing desk one. I got like under 40 minutes time. What? And the standing one is also pretty good time, slightly faster than the one I had with puzzling while sitting. But I'm like, I don't know, like the difference, because that was the first one I've made in this experiment, the sitting one. And then the last one I've made was on the floor. And on the floor one was pretty good time too. So I feel like that was the familiarity of the puzzle working, but still I was so surprised that the standing desk one, I was flying through it. I don't know. It's the first time I've completed any puzzle in under 40 minutes. Granted, it's a bit skewed because not on the first try on any puzzle, I would never. I've only completed one puzzle under 1 hour on the first try. I'm pretty new in my puzzling journey, but yeah. So, that's the puzzle I did. And conclusions I can make, I think that maybe maybe the method that is worse for me is probably build as you sort. Just because I'm more like an instinctive player, I just take like sections of things and I try to put pieces together, and I don't know, just matching them to the picture. It also obviously it requires practice, but I'm just not that good at it, I guess. I like the full flip method. It's my favorite. And by the way, for the position category, I did the same method, which was full flip, and I sorted out the edge because in this puzzle, the edge is pretty recognizable. So yeah, what do you guys think? Have you tried switching it up? Have you tried different methods? If you're constantly doing the same method, have you tried doing different methods? Try change the position. You know, I personally would not recommend doing the puzzle on the floor because practicing methods that you don't really encounter. I mean, doing puzzles, and if you're training for speed, right? You should emulate the conditions that you will encounter in competitions, basically. That's what I'm saying. But yeah, thank you for watching. Stay sharp, and meantime, I'll be puzzling. Bye, bye, bye.